Hey guys, this is T-Mass from 2A Syndicate, and this is my first ever ported M&P 2.0 metal. Okay guys, before we get into this thing, let's make sure that we show clear for YouTube purposes. I'm going to lock the slide back first. I'm going to show you that there's nothing inside. I can see you, you can see me. There's nothing in the chamber. Going to close that slide back. I'm going to rack it a couple more times. I'm going to point it in a safe direction. Pull the trigger. You hear there's empty. There's nothing in the chamber. It is safe. Now, before we get started about this, I just want to talk about a few things. I've always had issues with, and these were my own personal issues with possibly porting firearms. And the biggest thing was for me is that I didn't want to, ruin the integrity of the firearm, void the warranty, and all that good stuff. But time has gone by. You got manufacturers now porting. As you can see, I got a few videos myself on my channel of ported firearms, but these were ported from the factory. Also, comped firearms that was compensated by the factory. I have a couple of compensators that I bought with some threaded barrels that I have had when I had first bought those. As you guys know by now, I don't live in a free state. So now we can't buy any threaded barrels, but the barrels that I had before, I had bought it before that law had passed. So I was able to get compensators for them. Now, with that being said, going forward, times have changed, and a lot of people are talking about ports. A lot of people are doing comps, but ports have really taken a new segue into the gun community, into the 2A community, so to speak. So at this point, I'm like, I'm waiting for the right firearm that I felt like that I can get ported. And for me, what that feels like is, and what that looks like is, I wanted to go with a firearm that has a huge aftermarket following. Do you know what I mean? So if I do that, then that means that I can, still get a barrel. I may have a window, but I can still get another barrel of my choosing to go in there just in case that I don't want it to be ported, and I can still use it, put in the same barrel, have a ported barrel and a regular barrel. We'll get into that later. But before you finish this video, please check out our sponsors, Tactical Grit, in the comments section. Use the link below if you're interested. And if you want to purchase, use code Terrell10 for a 10% discount. Now, back to the video. All right, guys, let's get into this. First off, I really love the way that this firearm holds in my hand. I like the purchase that I can get on the firearm and the grip. And I like the angle, the grip angle to me, I feel like is, a perfect grip angle for me. Everybody's got a different hand size. Everybody's got different pads. It doesn't matter. But for me, this firearm fits perfectly into my hand. Now, I haven't got on here and done a lot. I think I've done one M&P review, and that was the Easy Shield, and that was a while back. But since then, I've been really checking out a lot of Smith&Wesson products. The M&P, they do have the Carry Comp, that is the brother of this guy here. When they first released that, it's something that I was just kind of holding on to see what some people would say about it. I shot it. I liked it, but at that point, I didn't want it to be comped itself at the end. I wanted to get a steel gun. I felt like if I got a whole metal frame, I wouldn't really need comps and things like that. So what I wanted to do is get this metal frame, and I did want it to get it ported. That was one of the reasons that I got it. Why? Like I said at the beginning, it's got a lot of aftermarket parts that you can order for this thing, and I figured that it even has an OEM slide. If all else failed, I could go back to the original, and that's the way I like it. So, with that being said, going to the range and shooting it, here's what I do have to say I learned about ports. There is some pluses and there is some negatives to it. My only negative to it was, at first it was that it was a big concussion, but I did shoot that indoors when I first got it, to go check it. My Where I teach at is an outdoor range. My outdoor range is where I really wanted to shoot it at. You still get a little bit of a concussion, but it's not as bad as it is indoors, especially if it doesn't really have that good of soundproofing on the indoors. And for me, that was my only negative. But I have a second negative on the porting as well. And then we'll get to my positives on the porting. The second negative on the portings is that you really have to clean this guy quite a bit. Now, it's not that big of a deal because the way I look at it is anything that gets dirty is going to need to be cleaned. So at the end of the day, that's where we are with this thing. Like, you get a full day on the range, and I practice a lot. You get a full day on the range with this guy, and you're coming home and you are cleaning it. You got some messy microfiber towels, put it that way. But that's it. It's dirty. It can be cleaned. It's good to go. Now, my positives. My positives is that this thing stays completely flat. The performance on ported firearms, and again, this is my take on it. This is my opinion. The performance on the ported firearm that I got done, it is second to none. The performance is just out the park. The next thing I'm going to do with this, and I think that's going to help with me running it as a performance, is I'm going to upgrade this trigger. I'm going to upgrade it with a Apex trigger, and go from there. You guys will see that review once I get it updated and upgraded. I do have the Apex trigger on order, and I also have another barrel on order as well for this. Because here's another thing. For everyone who carries ported, right? If you are carrying a ported firearm and you get into any type of retention shooting or any type of retention where you have to pull that firearm and you're going to have this thing very close to you, you don't have a chance to get it fully out. Sometimes you have to fire from here. Sometimes you're going to have to fire from here. Sometimes you'll barely get it out and fire. Even though you might do damage to the perpetrator, you're also going to do damage to yourself. And as you can see in the picture that I have, there is some pretty significant blast that's coming out of the top of this firearm, and I'm sure all the other firearms when you're getting them ported. If I decide to carry this, I will carry this with the window and a non-ported barrel when I go to the range, when I shoot competition, when I practice with it. I will practice with it being the ported barrel until I feel need not to. I love the ported barrels. I just don't really feel like, for me, someone who carries every day, and I know a lot of people do, if you're carrying ported and you get into a close quarters battle ever, and God forbid if you ever have to, you're going to also do some damage to yourself with the ported barrel. Trust me when I tell you. So, guys, that's just my opinion. Before I get into final thoughts, I just want to let everyone know where I did get this ported. You have a ton of people that do ports. Make sure that when you get your barrels ported and you get windows cut, that you're dealing with reputable companies. Do the research on them. Make sure that they're doing testing. I actually got my recommendation from Gamage, from Squad Drills, and he turned me on to Pew Pew CNC, to get their ported. He has a video out of his Echelon comp that was ported as well. And I can honestly say, guys, these guys did not let me down at Pew Pew CNC. I know a lot of people do Vinny from Monsoon Tactical. I know a lot of people do Lightning. I know a lot of people do. There's a ton. I could sit here forever and tell you everyone that does porting, but make sure you deal with a reputable company that has at least gone through somebody that they could kind of vouch for that company, and they haven't had any issues with them. So without further ado, guys, I am going to be signing off here. I do have one gripe for Smith&Wesson. It is 2025 now. We have optic ready pistols everywhere. If you're going to make an optic ready pistol, make the sights high enough to co-witness with the optic. It makes no sense for a firearm manufacturer not to think of these things and have this, out the gate. The only way I can get this to go witness is to get higher sights, and that's iron sights, or get the Holosun SCS that drops down and only mounts to the slide itself. Other than that, that's it. You're going to put this on there, and as you can see, as soon as you get that up, and I'm trying not to flag myself there as well, you'll see that there is no co-witnessing there. You're just going to get a dot, and that's it. This is uncalled for new pistols that are being put out that's optic ready. Any major firearm manufacturer should know better than this. This drops that down a notch at your expense as far as a manufacturer. Like, I know people are probably going to have something to say in the comments about it, but I just don't think that that's a good thing to do. You already pay enough money for our firearms anyway. You guys need to be thinking about this and making it stuff. But that's my rant for today. I'm off. Again, I thank you guys for tuning in. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to drop some material. I do have tons more that's coming out for you guys. I'm set and I'm ready. I just had a lot going on with the company, and I'm now, launched off the ground. I'm good to go, guys. Thanks again for watching. And as always, train hard, train often. I'll see you next time.